Good evening and welcome to another live with me, Paul Addict Mentor. And it is that time of day when we go to my prison tales. Oh, yes, we are talking all things behind that 12-foot wall, barbed wire, mesh, concrete steel, and all of that. I spent 22 years within the prison system over a period of about 30 years. I spent 27 years in active heroin and crack cocaine addiction, and my life was completely and utterly unmanageable. But I got clean, I got sober, I got non-active. And then when I sobered up, I was like, man, you know a lot of stuff. Evening, Paula. You know a lot of stuff, man. You've got a lot of stories. And I'm going to show you something. I have been writing them down. Right, I got little notes. There we go. Notes and notes and notes. I've decided I'm writing them all down. If I keep going, we're going to have a book in no time. So tonight, there's a few doozies in here. I'm not going to lie to you. I've got some stories to make your toes curl and go, what? Human beings treat each other like that? Yes. First of all, I'm going to tell you a story about Charles, except I'm just going to call him Charles, right? His name is Charles. He's from America. Now, Charles, he's a bit of a freaky deaky dude. He likes to do the freaky stuff, right? And I'll tell you how I come across Charles. I was in HMP Horfield, Bristol prison. I'd been transferred back from Parkhurst, and I'd managed to get a job. Watching you need to write a book, mate. I think I do. So, I got a job in a library. Now, two types of people get a job in a library: the hustlers and the guys who, they're a bit quiet in the jail. You're not quite sure what offences they're in for. Let's just put it that way. So I got a job, and I start talking to this American fella, right? And he's like, hi, my name's Charles. I can't do an American accent to save your life. But he starts telling me, you were asked, yeah, surprise, surprise. He starts telling me of this story about why he is in prison. And I'm going to tell you the story. So Charles, him and his partner, they were into bondage, S&M, all of that, and a lot more. And they had signed something, right, called a slave compact. Okay? So Charles was a slave master. She was the slave. They signed a slave compact. He could basically treat her however he wanted because they'd sign his contract. Not in the eyes of the law, obviously, but in his brain, this is what he's telling me. So, so he'd been getting into some trouble. He got into trouble, right? She called the police on him because he'd gone freaky deaky over the top. And she was a bit scared. So the British authorities did the right thing. They deported him back to America. But this guy, he's like, nah, man, you know what? That's my slave. She signed a slave contract. I can do what I want to her. So I'm going back to England. So what he does, he gets on a flight, flies to Ireland, sneaks back into the UK via Wales, right? Hunts down his slave because he's the man. He's the man. Good evening, Craig. He's hunted down his slave, and she was she's has anaphylaxis, yeah? So rubber in her mouth makes her go, right? So what he does, he sneaks back into her yard, breaks into her house, And while she's sleeping, he ties her up. And this is a fucked up thing. Starts shoving rubber gloves into her mouth to try to kill her. Now, evening, Richard. He's telling me this story, and he's going, so Paul, because I signed this contract, I should got it not guilty, right? I go, not guilty, bruv. What do you mean not guilty? You're going to jail for ages. You snuck back into the country when you weren't allowed to, and you have tried to kill someone using the one thing you knew what would kill her. And let me tell you, I ran into this guy, and let me try to get the numbers right. In about 2005, right? I last saw him. This is so bad. So 2005, he got IPP. He got no, he didn't get IPP. Yeah, he did. He got IPP right at the start of the IPP system. He is still in jail. I ran into him last in 2020, just before I started to sort my shit out. I ran into him then, and he was like, hey, Paul, do you remember me? I said, mate, I don't only remember you. I saw his missus was in an OK magazine, dressed all up in her bondage gear, going, my slave master tried to murder me. Check it out, Google it, look for it. And that was my story of Charles, the S&M slave master. Like I said, on here, all you will get is true stories, true facts, some of them giggling, some of them are going to make your toes curl. All right. I got a little short one for you. A little short one. Now, if you have seen my Sean Atwood podcast, and if you haven't, please watch it, because it's amazing. You will know, whilst I was away, I made friends with Michael Clark. Michael Clark is from Melksham. He murdered his mother and father. He stabbed them to death. 70 stab wounds in his dad, 60 in his mum. It was real fucked up stuff, right? This guy was a martial arts expert. He was serious. The guy taught me some stuff, right? And we became good friends. He was from Melksham. My parents lived at the time in Semmington, which is a village right next to Melksham. Yeah. So, you know, Wiltshire. So we started chatting and we started getting to know each other. And we were in the cell one day, and I'll always remember this. This is one thing I'll remember about Michael. And when he does get out, because I do think eventually he will get out, because he was like 20 when he committed these offences. So he's got a recommendation of 27 years before they think about parole. So he's going to end up serving about 40 years, just so you know. That's kind of the thing. Anyway, me and him was sat in his cell one night, just chilling. You know, the door's 98% shut, little slit in the door, because that's how we used to be, minding our own business. We're sat playing Medal of Honor, right? And we're having a laugh, blowing shit up and all that. You know what I mean? I can see him getting really excited for the blood and the guts, and getting a little bit nervous. You know, him sat with a double murderer in his cell right now. If the guy wanted to snap my neck, he could have snapped my neck, and you know what? He would not have done an extra day than what he's already doing. Evening, Joy, my beautiful niece. So, I'm sat in the cell with double murderer Michael Clark, the butcher of Melksham. And we're playing computer games, getting hyped up, you know, blowing shit up and stuff. The kid turns to me. Michael Clark was mad. What he done was 2 streets away from where I live. Richard Jones. How about that? See? Man done chat. I told you before, people, only real talk on this show. Only real talk. I'm going to get back. Richard, how do you know him? Tell me more. Did you know his parents? His old man was a copper. So this guy killed his mum and dad. He literally brutalized them, yeah? But I'm going to tell you the story. I'll tell you what was so mad about Michael anyway and his crime before I go back to the actual story. Evening, Tory, up the gas. Paula Southwick, yeah, man. This is the thing. These are the people we mix with within the prison system. I was in for robbery. He was a double murderer. We lived about 3 cells away from each other. His story's kind of mad because he murdered his parents. Yeah, his old man was a security guard at the local supermarket. Yes, evening, Jacob Bowers. Good evening. We got Swindon crew, we got Bristol crew, we got all crew in the house this evening. So Michael Clark, what he actually did, he murdered his parents in the house, like full rage. You gotta imagine, fucking going crazy. The guy had so many knives and swords, it was absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. So he stabbed him up. Then him and his mate, they've gone off to London, right? Or to somewhere, to a concert. So they've gone to a concert, they're having a dance up. At this time, Michael knows his parents dead in the yard, right? So on the way back from the concert, knowing his mum and dad are now dead in the house, yeah, he's phoned the house and left a voice. Yeah, his mate John Chamberlain. I met both of them. So his mate, it's so bad. It's actually so bad. So he's phoned the house phone going, hi, Mum. Hi, Dad. Just letting you know we had an amazing time and we're on our way back. He's trying to make himself a fucking alibi. However, when the police raided his yard and, it didn't take him 2 minutes, I know it. Oh, yeah, there you go, Richard. So do I. I sat in the cell with the guy. I know it from the inside out, not the outside in. So when they've raided his yard, they found out that this guy was making hit lists for people that he wanted to kill. He was fucking researching how to kill people, where to kill people. It was crazy. Jay Brooks, my G, I'm so glad your video's doing well, man. Everyone follow Jay Brooks. Hit him up. Subscribe to his YouTube channel, please. He's a real good guy. He's a real good G, and he's a real good friend of mine who's coming on the radio station soon. I've just got to find time in a day for everything. So now I've laid down to you what Michael Clark did, yeah? Me and him were sat in the cell, we're playing PlayStation, having a laugh. And he's turned to me all of a sudden. He's gone, Simo, I don't think I'm going to get through this sentence without doing another one. I'm like, what are you on about, bruv? Like, just trying to blow up the Germans as I'm doing. And then he's gone, I don't think I'm going to get through this sentence without wanting to kill someone else, because I found that quite a good thing. Now, I'm sat in a cell with a double murderer who's just told me that he's quite probably is going to kill again. I've gone, whoop, I've ripped the door right open, put my foot on the door, and I've gone, yeah, sweet Mike. Anyway, it's close to bang up. I got to go get some toast and hot water. I was gone, mate, out of that cell so fast, because I'm thinking, man, that guy's been sat here thinking about that when we're playing computer games. Do you think he was thinking, I want to kill him? Let me see. Sorry, Jay, I'm just going to see what it says a minute. Bro, thank you, man. Don't mind me, I'm here to hear your story. Our time will come, you know it will. Paula, you just keep saying, were you a hustler? What do you mean, was I a hustler? That's like the third time you've asked me, man. Anyway, third story. I got some doozies tonight, I've told you. Now, Jay Brooks, you might know this person, these brothers. John, you might know these brothers. I am going to take you to Jason and Tim Sevier, right? All prison addicts hustle. Right there, my guy. Leon's in the building. Craig's telling his truth. You know how we do. We have to hustle in jail. There's no other way to survive in there. You have to get your hustle on. Right. Oh, before I go into my third story, right? Before I go into my third story, I want to tell you what I'm doing tomorrow. Now, this thing behind me, as you can see, it's got my non-active approach, and then it's got the Bristol Rovers Community Trust, and they've been really integral in helping me. So tomorrow, I am going to Bristol Rovers to speak to the academy players. And now these are all boys. They don't know hard life, really too tough. Do you know what I mean? These are kids coming from different side of the road to me. So I'm having a chance to speak to them. I'm really hoping from chatting to them, I get to chat to the second team and first team players and onto other clubs, because this is what I want to do. So tomorrow, I'm doing a nice talk with the academy players at Bristol Rovers. So big shout out to Adam Tutton and everyone associated with Bristol Rovers and the Bristol Rovers Community Trust. No! You got to do what you got to do to survive, especially in there, you do, Jai. Right, let me get to Tim and Jason Sevier. Now, I don't think Jason's last name was Sevier. I think it was Tim Sevier, and Jason had a different name. They were brothers. They'd been through the foster system, and they'd been abused. There's no half measures about it. It was in the papers. I'm not sharing news that nobody knows. They were abused, right? Their foster parents treated them like shit. The mum not, right? But the dad so, and the mum really wasn't paying attention, right? Now, I know this because I used to walk the yard with these two brothers. One was 19, one was 21. They were kids, right? But they'd been abused. So there used to be a foster home in Bradford and Avon, just going down the hill. I can't think what it's called off the top of my head, but halfway down the hill. So they got drunk one night, you know, and they'd been hating on everything, hating on the world, and they've gone, right, let's go deal with that fucking nonce, right? That put us in this big situation. Let's go fucking serve him up, right? So they've gone on a mission, pissed up, they're on cocaine, everything completely off of their fucking head, and they've gone on this mission to find foster dad and maybe give foster mum a slap as well, because she should have been paying better attention. Their words, not mine, right? Their words, not mine. So they've gone to fucking revenge, right? They've broken into the house. So they're in the fucking house now. They're like, oh, right, where's them fucking bastards? I'm having them, right? Don't ask me what happened, but they went from going to punch up the dad to stabbing the foster mum over 50 times, all right? And the only reason the foster dad didn't die, because he got stabbed a shitload, but he threw himself through the kitchen window, through a bathroom window, literally threw himself through a window to stop himself getting killed. So Tim and Jason, now, they were like, they're sat at a big house, and they were being brothers on brothers. We're going to see this out together. We're fucking brothers. Guess what happened? Can you guess? Do you want me to tell you? They fucking turned on each other. One of them grasped the other one up. Now, sorry, Jason. You know I know. You know it's true. Jason grasped him up. Oh, I've got a huge. Oh, don't be silly. That's someone going. Da, 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 da. We don't do any of that stuff on here. Thank you, whoever you are, through Twitch. I really do appreciate it, but we don't do all of that promotion and trying to sign me up to anything. I'm logging the tooth. I'm 44-year-old. I'm not some kid. You're not going to come on here and try to convince me to do this and to do that. Nah, I'm good, bruv. Honestly, if you like what you're doing, listen, subscribe to my channel. Don't make me come to yours. I've been on the BBC News, I've been in the paper, I've been on the radio, got my own radio show. No, 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 no. You should know better than that. So, Tim and Jason Sevier, in the end, grasped each other up after going to beat up the stepdad and give the mum a slap and killing the mum, foster mum, sorry, and the foster dad, he's very lucky to be alive today. I'm only telling the stories, Pete. If you don't like it, right, I understand. But some of these stories are quite bad. Now, the next one. This is a story of an interesting Swindonian guy that I know from before. Let me just see what Craig said. Laughing at you saying those words, not yours, and not at their offence. Yeah, I know. Yeah. I definitely wasn't laughing at their offence, mate. We don't laugh at their offence because that offence is fucked up. It's fucked up. No one. You shouldn't kill people. You really shouldn't kill people. Can I get rid of that big ass comment? Yeah, I could do that. I didn't know I could do that. Just ban that person. Booyaka shot. The next story, my last story of the night, is about a very interesting guy from Swindon, man. Honestly, I'm honestly speechless. Listen, some of the things I have, the stories in my head that I don't realize it until I start writing them down. And I got pages and pages of interesting things to tell you about prisons. And I'm lucky, I suppose. I'm out here and I'm able to do this because a lot of people aren't able to come out and tell the stories and discuss some of the crazy people that we meet. About an interesting fella. Sweet. It says transmission is unstable. I do apologize. It should be okay. There's quite a lot of good guys in prison, but obviously quite a few nutters too. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Craig. I'm just focusing on the nutters. Please write a book, brother. Those stories are great. Oh, I really want to. I'm going to need help with it. I don't think I'll be able to do it on my own. So I do want to write a book. The next story is about a guy, Butcher. His last name was, I think it was Frank Butcher, literally like, dun, 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 dun. He was from Swindon. Now, this guy and me, he was on remand. I was actually on remand and I got sentenced for my for the armed robbery kidnap thing. Yeah, that would be great for a book. I promise you, peeps, if we keep doing what we're doing and we keep progressing and people want it, I will write a book. I promise you. But only if people want it. Do you know what I mean? I'm writing a book for 2 people to read. So, Butcher, he was on remand, I was on remand. And, we getting to know each other. He was into his cars and stuff. And, I've spent a long time. You definitely write an autobiography. Oh, you would say that. You're my niece. Right. So, Butcher, through the whole time he was on remand, he said to me this: I didn't kill my wife. It wasn't on purpose. I've never touched a hair on a woman's head before. Right? So that's what he's saying. Right? He's saying what happened was, Paul, we were in an argument. She went down and she broke her neck on the way down. Right? And I'm going, right, you're a big fella. So this is possible. It could have happened. Right? So I've gone, it is possible it could have happened. Let me just read these comments a minute. You need to get all your stories plus whatever you remember of your own jail time on paper and get it out to a publisher, right, to connect it all for you in proper format. Yeah, I think I might just write them all down and see what happens at some point. I can see you lot really want me to write a book. So, Butchers, for the whole of his remand time, had said to me, Paul, I promise you, mate, I didn't do it on purpose. She fell a funny way. She's dead. I feel guilty. I feel horrible. I just want my kids back because they got kids together. All of this crap he's telling me. Yeah? I'm like, all right, Butch, I got your back, mate. I'm not on for that woman killing shit, to be honest with you. I think they're the same as nonces. I ain't gonna lie, right? Because that's my opinion. If you beat your woman to kill her, man, you're the same, innit? You're in the same boat. So, it comes to his trial, right? Now, this guy, for about a year and a half, has been telling me how innocent he is. It comes to his trial. Day one of his trial, he's on the news, right? It's a murder case, isn't it? From Swindon. He's on the news. And it said something like this. Mr. Butcher had formerly got offences for trying to kill his last partner with a fucking screwdriver. He stabbed her about 8 times and they got done for Section 18. And this is the beaut, right? And this is why you can't trust no fucker in jail unless you see their paperwork. This is the beaut. It said she didn't snap her neck or anything like that. He stabbed her 18 times, and then strangled her. And now this is a guy, for a hot minute, 18 months, he's been going, yeah, no, we're good. I've been lending him stuff, looking after him, going, oh, this is your first time in the big city, like, in the jail terms. I got your back, bruv. I've been doing bird for a hot minute now. And bam, turns out the whole time he was a sick, fucked up woman killer who stabbed his missus 18 times, and as she was dying, he strangled the life out of her fucking body. I lived with that guy 18 months. Now, a lot of you will go, yeah, but Paul, you were violent. You were in for violent crime, weren't you? How violent was my violent crime? We could break it down into manageable chunks and go, well, the worst offence I've been convicted for was I smacked someone around the side of the head with a hammer when I was 17. And when I was 21, I gun butted someone instead of seeing if my gun worked. And in 2017, I sprayed vinegar in someone's eyes. Now, that is the max of my violent behavior. However, in the prison system, I am judged just as violent as Mr. Butcher there, or Charles, who I was just telling you about, Mr. S. We are all the same. Charlie Gibson, how's it going, mate? I'm really well. That's disgusting. Well, it is. It's disgusting. It is, but that's, that's the way life is, and that's the way jail is. I'm trying to think if I've got time to tell you one more. Oh, yes, I have. This one's a classic. It's a little bit violent, but it's a little bit funny. No, you thought I was going to give you another one. Your 30 minutes is up, peeps. It is up. I really, 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 really hope you've enjoyed my prison tales tonight. Every single one of these are down to my memory, okay? So if anyone ever comes back to you and says, oh, you got that name wrong or you got that date wrong, just understand it's all coming back from memory. I've got certain stuff written down, but we are learning more and more and more. Difference between forced violence from desperation. Yeah, to being a psycho, absolutely. Someone just said Dan Lissigo. I don't know what that means. Don't you mean disgusting? I mean a guy you were in with. Yeah, yeah, no, I got that, Paula. I got that. Oh, much love, Paul. See you tomorrow. I will be back tomorrow evening at 7. I'll be live 9 a.m. TikTok only in the morning. Have a fantastic evening and please don't have bloody nightmares. Because all these guys I've told you, they're all doing life sentences. And we've not even got to the story about the prisoner who boiled his own baby. That is for another night.